Hey y'all, this is Dina. Welcome to my channel. Y'all, I'm back working on my swap again, and I have put together these little tiny sequin jars. I got these little jars at the Dollar Tree, and I had them in my stash, and I decided I would put some sequins in them. So I decided I needed a little box for them to go in. So I've been kind of playing around. Here's my little template here. Been kind of playing around, and I think I figured out the exact box that I'm going to need. So you're going to need a sheet of paper that is 7 inches by 5 3/4. Okay, so on your 7-inch side, go ahead and score at 1 and at 6. Okay, so that is going to give me about 1 inch on each side. Then you're going to flip it over to the 5 3/4, and you're going to score it at 1 1/2, 2 1/2, 4, and then at 5. And that's all the scoring you're going to need to do. So this right here, this is going to be my front flap. This is going to be the back of the box. So I'm going to go ahead, let's go ahead and fold on all these score lines. I'm going to fold, I think it's just a little bit easier. It's been a while since I made a box, but I'm like, I need a little box, so let's just create one. I hope everybody had a great day. I had a good day. It was just a very, very busy day. So that's just how it was. Okay, so this is what we've got. Now this little 3/4 of an inch, let's start with that one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut at an angle on the left side of that score mark. See that score mark? I'm going to cut it at an angle, and then I'm going to cut on the score line right here. We don't need this little part right here, so let's just get rid of that. And let's do the same thing on this side. Just cutting at an angle. And I'm going to cut this off. Okay, so now we have our little front flap. Okay, so on each of the score lines, let's go ahead and cut up to the score line. So you want to do that on all the score lines. Okay, we're going to go back here. I have to really focus when I'm using paper that's this light and to see the score line. I guess this is a sign of my blind eyes. Okay, so now you've got these right here. So now this is going to go, look, this will be the front, this will go down inside, and these are going to fold. Okay, so I think that you are not going to need this. Let me see, before I go and chop something off, I want to make sure that we don't need these. Now, these right here, these front little flaps right there, they're going to fold down inside the box. I think I'm going to cut them off about halfway. I think having them all the way is going to be too much for my box. So, cut it about halfway. So now we've got these little flaps, okay? So now, this is how our box will go. We would put this tab up inside. I do like to have my back tabs folded in first, and then the front tabs will go, oh, sorry about that, y'all, it's my laundry. They will fold in just like this, okay? So before we go and do that, let's go ahead and get ourselves some designer paper and go ahead and add some, and that way it'll make it a little easier. Let me grab, I need to grab something. I haven't used any of this on my swap yet, so maybe I will utilize this for my swap. So I know that this right here is 5 inches, okay? So I'm going to go in just a little bit, and this top one is by 1. So let's go ahead. I'm going to cut that. Make sure if you're using directional paper, you're going to cut it the correct way. So I know it's by 1, but I'm going to go in just a little bit, just a little hair. So less than 1 inch. And then it was by 5. So I'm going to go in just a little bit, maybe 1/8 of an inch. That way then I have a piece that's going to fit right up here on the top. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to add this. Let me find my glue. And then you're going to kind of figure out your other pieces as well. Sometimes if you put the box together first and then you add this on, you can't press it down really well. So we're going to just go ahead and we're going to add it on before we put the box together. Okay. So my next one is going to be about the same length. And I have an extra piece back here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one because it's the same width that I need. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one. A little less than 5. So I'm going to go ahead and add this one. It's going to go right here. So this was going to go, and that one will actually be on the bottom. So it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter which way it's going. It's going to be on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and add this piece. And so this piece right here is 1.5. So we know it's a little less than 5 by 1.5. By 1.5, so I'm going to go just a little bit less than that. 1.5. Just want to make sure that my paper, and I know I'm off to the side here, but I'm just going to go ahead and get this cut. So you can just measure your paper up against where it needs to go, and just measure it and just cut. That's all. Then we're going to add this one, and this one actually works out good because this is actually going to be, this is the back, so that's going to be the top. So I'm going to put this one where this is going to go this way. I want to make sure it's going upright or the right direction. Hopefully that makes sense. And just add that one in. So there, now that's the top, that was the back. See how it's directional, how it's going to be going the right way. And then this one is the front, so this one is going to be going this way. Okay, so let's add the glue. This paper was one of my favorites in this collection. It really, really was. And I think when I first bought it, when it first came out, I bought like 10 sheets, and that's all I wanted to use was this beautiful paper. Okay, so now we've got our paper on. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold in your little tabs, okay? And I like my back tabs to go in first, and then my front tabs to go like this. So it's going to, your middle tab's going to go up, push your back tab in, and then your front one. So it's going to go like this, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a little dab of glue on my tab here, and I'm going to adhere it to this back tab. Let's do the same thing over here. And then I'm going to add glue to my front tab. And then I'm going to gently push it down. this is going to make a perfect box. Now I'm gonna need some little side decoration pieces too. So, oops, and look what I did. Let me wipe it off. I put my glue on the wrong side. But it's okay because I'm gonna add paper over it and the glue dries clear anyway. Like this. So now my little box is almost done. So these right here, let's see here, we've got the height on this last piece and it's by 1 inch. So I'm going to utilize this last piece and it's by 1 inch. So I'm going to go in just like a hair less on both of them and it should fit right up inside. When you get down to the last little bit of paper, it's actually very hard to hold it in place sometime. Okay. My box is going to be just darling. Okay, this is the side where I had added the glue by mistake. Let's add some glue. Let's cover it up. Get that in place. Look how sweet this is. Let's add another one. On this end. I just don't feel like cooking tonight. I'm going to pick something up. Okay, so the little tabs, they will fit down inside, but I think I want to, well, I didn't get that one very straight, so let me make sure I got it straight. I'm going to angle these in so they'll pop down in there. Okay, let's just angle them in so they'll fit down into the sides. I just went online and I ordered, I've been eyeballing the new Christmas paper by Prima. I think it's a Frank Garcia. Okay, so now those will just flip back down in there, and the little thing, the little flap is going to fit right down inside. Now, if you wanted, you could make a little notch out if you want. I think I'm not going to worry about it. I think I'm just going to leave it. I don't really think that the front little flap here needs any paper. I mean, you can if you want. You know what? Let's just do it. So this one is, we know it's a little less than 5, and this is a 3/4. So let's cut this one really fast. So I'm going to cut a 3/4, a little less than 3/4, and I think that one's might be too much. Actually, I'm going to go a little bit smaller. Let's see if I can do this, y'all. Look at this little piece. Actually, it is, you know what? I think I'm going to leave it instead of stressing over this. I think I'm going to leave it. So, no big deal. So now the flap, if you want to add the piece, go ahead. But I'm just going to add it. See how it just pops right down in there just perfectly? So now my little jars will fit down in here just perfectly. There's just enough room. You know, I almost thought I could add one more, but I'm just not going to worry about that. I think that that's going to be just fine. And then the little flaps will just go down inside. And if you also wanted to add some like little circles on the top, hey, you know what? I think I have a punch that's small enough for that. So let me grab it. Okay, so I have this little 5/8 inch punch, and I think it's going to work absolutely perfect. So let me go and cut myself 5 circles. And I think I might flip them over and use the other side. So let me grab my glue. And just add the little circle on top, just to give it some color. little glue on there. Little glue. And one more. Okay. So now we have little tops that are beautiful now. Let's add in our little jars in our little mini box. Let's put the lid on. Fred's gonna fold down inside. So I think it needs a cute bow. So I have some beautiful pink ribbon up here, of course. My box is gonna be so pink, y'all. Anyway, I think that it could use a nice long ribbon like this. Wouldn't that be pretty? And maybe just a little embellishment on the front. I think that's what I need. Just a little saying, a little greeting or something on the front. Or do I want to do it this way? Nope, I think I want to do it long way. So let me cut off, make sure I have enough. And I'll just tie a nice little knot or something up here on the top. I know it's just little sequins, but you want them to be pretty. Okay. So I'm going to make sure I'm going to find my middle here. Okay, this is my middle. So I know that's going to be in the middle of the bottom. And I think what I'll do is glue that on so it will stay in place. Let's see. See how that's going to work. And my little box is going to stay in place. Oops. Don't let that fall in. So I pressed on it. So now it's going to be glued in place. Make sure it's nice and even on the sides. So I'm going to flip this one around, make sure. And then I'll be able to tie this up at the top. You can add glue on the sides too. Let's do it. That way it kind of stays in place. I used to, when I first started my channel, I made little boxes all the time. And I just really kind of quit doing it, you know. And I thought, you know, I just need a little box to put these little sequins in. A mini box for some mini sequins. So you want to tie a nice little bow up here on the top. I think it's a little bit short, so we'll just trim it. And I like to tie my bows nice and tight. Look how it's already looking, y'all. Isn't that so cute? I think a little something just right there on the front. Let me see what I can find. Okay, so I just want something just small, and so I'm thinking, I'm just gonna go with From the Heart. You know, I made this and it came from my heart, so I think that that would be just fine. And also too, the little baking type pictures on there, they actually, I mean, you could call that from your heart as well. So I think I'll just put it over here. Nothing fancy. And I'll just glue it and just stick it down in there. And now I have my sweet little sequin embellishment box. And it's got my embellishments, got my sequins in there. It's pretty and it is in the collection. And it's darling. I absolutely love how it turned out, y'all. It's like a little present. So anyway, y'all, thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you'll make a little box just like this. The little jars, like I said, they came from the Dollar Tree. And yeah, $1. You can fill them with some little small little goodies, and you can dress up the box and just make it beautiful. Anyway, thanks so much everyone for stopping by. I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.